Welcome, I'm Jo Fellows and I'm thrilled to be part of the Startup Scaleup Summit and have you join me today as we talk about the 6 steps to scale your business with profitable projects. So in our time together today, I want to show you how through a series of projects you can go from confusion and overwhelm and being stuck to freedom of time and money. If you've got any questions that come up for you during the session, please use the question button that you'll find on the page on the Summit platform, and I'll answer them at the end. If we didn't get a chance to answer them, then please leave your email with your question when you post it and I can contact you after. Okay, so before we dive into the 6 steps, I just want to put into context what I mean when I say profitable projects, and give you a quick overview on why I feel they're so important. So a profitable project in the context we're talking about here today is when you're laying down like a new lane or a new road that wasn't in your business before. You're restructuring something to create a cost saving, or you're removing a block that's been keeping you small. So that's what one project can look like. And scaling your business with profitable projects then is a series of projects based on an overall plan or your goals. And what we do is just break down those goals into a series of manageable, achievable pieces, which are namely projects. And as a business owner, there are always so many things you can do, and it can get really confusing and overwhelming. And the world is changing so quickly. And what you want is a way to be confident that you'll get return on the money, the time and the energy that you invest into anything. And projects really can do that for you. So if you're interested in scaling your business and maybe working with less stress as you do it, then you're definitely in the right place. Now, I don't know what type of business that you've got or what stage of development that business is at right now, but what I do know is if you're a startup, then what I share with you on how to use projects is going to remove the pain and headaches that a lot of entrepreneurs go through. And what I'm going to give you is a shortcut or like a direct route, really. If you've been going for some time and you've hit a plateau perhaps, and you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed and confused over what to do next, then this session will be like removing the plug and letting all the angst flow away. Or if you're already successfully growing your business, then this is going to give you some fine tuning. And I'll share with you an area that you need to watch out for. Is where I see a lot of 6 and 7 figures businesses go into reverse when they get this wrong. Okay. So I've got 6 points to cover today and just 30 minutes to do it in. And I'm going to give you as much as I can in the time that we've got together. But I do know from experience that some of you will want to develop and dive in deeper. So to give you added value, I've put together a guide called How to Profit with Projects. And in there are 10 downloadable templates and checklists. That guide's available for you in the Summit's digital swag bag, so make sure you check that out. And as I go through the session, I'll let you know what templates and guides, what templates are in the guide, so that you know that you've got the download there. So specifically in our time together today, I'm going to give you the 6 steps to scaling with profitable projects, so that you know how to identify the one project that will help you now, know how to avoid wasted time putting your team and yourself under unnecessary stress, and know how to find the blind spots in your team and how you can cover them. And then finally, how to become more effective and grow with confidence with every project that you undertake. If this is the first time we've met, I just want to take a minute to introduce myself. So I'm Jo Fellows from 7 Figure Back Office. And at 7 Figure Back Office, I work with a handful of purpose-driven entrepreneurs at a time who want to scale at different levels. And over the years, I've noticed some businesses saw extraordinary results and there's others that saw mediocre results. And what I learned from those clients, I learned what happened and why that was the case. And the key distinction was the guidance that came from the leader to the team. So For clients who didn't give much guidance at all to their team and had no clearly defined direction and were winging it essentially, well, they had miserable team members, the results were poor and the business struggled. But when the business owner had a clear plan and shares that clear plan with their team, then the team are engaged and willing to do whatever it takes to see that plan come to reality, and the results really do show for the better. So we then have a scenario where we have a happy business owner, a happy team, and a happy client base. So it doesn't get better than that. So I now help businesses improve leadership and develop a winning team culture by developing a plan, getting a great clear plan in place that everyone can visualize and that everyone can head towards with a step-by-step plan of action. And in doing that, it improves the business effectiveness, scalability, profitability, and reduces overall frustrations. Effective teams are the absolute backbone of any business, and the team experience does matter. You know, if we take like Google, for example, who are pretty successful, I think you'll agree, and they've been the consistent title holders of the best places to work. And to be an effective team, you've got to have clear leadership, guidance and support, have clearly defined goals, and follow a step-by-step process to achieve the goal. So without these 3 items, teams are stressed and tired, which leads to unhappiness, health issues, and high team turnover. And needless to say, all that will result in poor business performance. And having launched over 200 projects, many of those marketing projects, I've seen what works and what doesn't work for clients in their business and for their teams. And I've learned firsthand what it takes to plan and execute your next stage of growth with your projects. And this is how I help business owners through strategic planning and using the power of profitable projects to improve their leadership and culture and create an environment of happiness to bring about success. And when you implement the following 6 steps, you'll be tapping into the power of profitable projects too. So you can scale and achieve great results. And that's really what I hope for you. So before I dive into the first step, I want to share an overarching best practice to really help you leverage profitable projects. And it's this. With all projects I've been involved with, it's almost always turns out best when you have a specific person who is the project manager that isn't you. It will very probably slow you down and weigh you down if you take on the project manager role. You need to be free to be the creator and the visionary and have that sort of helicopter view of the project and the end game, and leave the nitty-gritty to your project manager. It will save you tons of stress and worry and time when you have the right person on your team to project manage your projects. Now, project management is a specific skill set. It could be your VA if they've got the right skills. It could be someone that you hire in for specific projects, but it's worth giving some attention to getting the right person on board at the outset. Okay, so with that in mind, my first download for you is a project manager skills checklist. And that's to help you make sure that you've got the right person in that key role. And that's downloadable from within the How to Profit with Projects guide that's in your digital swag bag. Okay, then to bring each of these 6 steps to scaling your business to life, I'm going to share Dawn's story with you so that you can see all the steps in action. So with Dawn, the project produced 74 online sales in 2 weeks and created a nice 5-figure income, which was quite a transformation for her because to that point she'd had 0 website sales. So here are the exact 6 steps we took to create this profitable project for Dawn so that you can create them in your own business. So I call step 1 Diamond Ideas. Now this step is about finding the right project to take forward amongst the many possibilities that you've undoubtedly got. So I work with a lot of founders who are highly creative, and when they want to grow their business, they tend to do what they did in the early days, which is create something new. Now, the thing is, as you grow, that's not necessarily what's needed. A startup strategy can be quite different to a scale-up strategy. So as the business grows, ideas need to pass through some filters that make sure that what you're investing your time, money, energy and resources into is actually the right thing. Because you don't want to end up taking on the wrong things, diverting your energy and resources in one direction that isn't actually going to achieve the growth you want. So to help you find the diamond idea, we created what we call the Project Viability Checker. So I'll just tell you what that is. The checker takes your idea through a series of 9 filters that helps you to decide if this is the right project. It helps you get clarity on what you want to achieve from implementing the project and what your criteria for success will be with it. So it generally only takes about 30 minutes to run the project through it. And if you think about it, that's really good time, good investment on your time when you balance it against months of time and money that could be wasted if you go with the wrong direction with the wrong project. And the viability checker will also help you be confident that the idea is right. And if it is right, it will help you communicate that idea to your team in a really concise and clear way. So the filters in the checker are a series of questions that have you think really deeply, with questions like, what's the purpose of your project? What are you looking to achieve? And what difference will this project make as a result of it being completed and out in the world? And as I said, giving thought to and answering these questions will help you feel confident in the project, and it will help you communicate the idea to your team and gain their buy-in. And it's really important that your team do buy into your projects. They're the key players who are going to bring your vision to life, and they want to see how the project will help the business, the team and clients move forward. And like I said earlier, if your team are happy, the better the results for you, the business and your clients. So I've just shared a few of the filters that are in the viability checker, and there are 9 in total, and they're really powerful for helping you get clear on the viability of the project and the passion, get that real passion across and the thinking behind it. So when you do introduce it to your team, your answers will help you explain it clearly and concisely, and the team will pick it up at the heart level. So you'll find the viability checker within the How to Profit with Projects guide in your swag bag under the section called Diamond Ideas. Ah, yes, and remember, success is as much about what you say no to as it is what you say yes to. So if an idea does not make it through the viability checker, it's actually a good thing. It's going to save you lots of money and stress. So how did Diamond Ideas work with the viability checker for Dawn? Well, Dawn is highly creative. She created a book and turned it into a bestseller. She created lots of media pieces and appeared in the media often. She had a radio show and was a regular on TV. She was awesome. She had multiple projects on the go, and they were all great reputation and brand building focused. Now, the problem was, with all that exposure, the business still wasn't growing. And as a creative, she thought she hadn't created the right product or program or service yet, and she just kept creating new things. So lots more projects on her plate, and she was getting burnt out. And when we ran all the possibility of each project through the viability checker, we found the right project became obvious. And for Dawn, that was a project that harnessed her great media exposure. So that's step 1, Diamond Ideas. So now on to step 2, which is growing with the flow. So every project needs resources like people, time, energy, and cash. So if you're too ambitious too soon, it can burn up your cash reserves or burn out your team. And then you've got to replenish the money or replace the team and retrain team members, which can set you back months or even years. So scaling does need some careful planning. We've all heard of the phrase cash is king, and that's the key resource we're looking at here in this step. Cash helps you do the things that you want to do, like building and launching that exciting and transformational program, or setting up a licensee program, for example. And cash needs time and consideration at this stage of the project, because you don't want to start a project only to find that the unexpected costs, that if you'd only researched a bit more up front, you would have meant that you'd have perhaps chosen another project to start with. So to prevent the pain of draining your cash or your team resources, in this step, your project manager will thoroughly scope out the project to assess its viability from a resource perspective. So this means you go into the project with your eyes wide open and you're growing with the cash flow. And in Dawn's case, when we analysed her resources, we knew the project needed to be low cost and bring in a real quick cash injection into the business. And the best project was one that would make the most of the existing website traffic that was driving her, that she was driving to her site through all her great media work. And this would then mean she could make a bigger impact to people and gain paying clients. So all good. So that's step 2, growing with the flow. And again, in your digital swag bag, within the guide, How to Profit with Projects, you'll find a template cash flow forecast and an annual project planner template to support you with your planning. Okay, so on to step 3, which is tasking your team. So in this step, it's about making sure your team have the skills, knowledge, time, and enthusiasm to be successful at achieving the goals of the project and the tasks required within it. Your project manager, remember that is not you, I will keep making that point, will map out the project based on the goals and success criteria that you laid out in your project viability check in step 1. They will also create a cash flow forecast and assess your team resources from step 2, and develop the project milestones and add any tasks to whatever project management tool you're using, and assess the team's skills and see where the gaps are and how they might need to be filled. Now, from experience, we've found that as you scale, it's really unlikely to have all the skills and knowledge in your team to deal with every aspect of a project. You know, like you've got a copywriter, video editor, salesperson, you know how it goes, the list goes on really. So you'll need to look at how to fill any of the gaps. Now, it might be that you hire in specific expertise for that, or maybe you just outsource projects completely so that your in-house team can stay focused on the business as usual processes. So with Dawn, she had a team, but not a team that had specific expertise to implement and generate cash flow quickly. Now, she could have just hired a project manager, but she needed more than that. So in this case, she actually hired our 7-figure back office implementation team to work on this project and get the job done quickly without any stress from her and her team. So that's step 3, task your team. And as you probably expect by now, in the How to Profit with Projects guide, there in your swag bag, we have a project plan template for you to download. Loads of downloads. Okay, so on to step 4, which is synchronizing your steps. Okay, now at this point, your team are all set and ready to dive in and bring the project to life. Your project manager will put all the milestones and tasks into the project plan and task the team. Now, it's vital, even though you aren't the project manager, that you stay engaged in the project. I've seen it all too often where business owners who think they can or hope that their work is done at this point and step too far away from the project. And to be honest, when that happens, they don't really get the results that they want. Now, you've got to remember that you're the visionary and guiding light for your team, and they still need your input and encouragement. So to help you stay on top of a project without getting too involved or taking up too much of your time, we created our project update template. And now this takes no longer than 15 minutes for the project manager to write up, and takes no longer than 5 minutes for you to read. They're important, they're designed because they're to be short actually, and to the point, important project updates, so that everyone can be kept in the loop that needs to know about the project. It's best practice to have these completed weekly, depending on the size and the intricacies of the project. So with Dawn, with your project manager, you'll have weekly, or at the very least fortnightly meetings with the project implementation team to check in, answer questions, and keep things moving forward with the project. And of course, they're also getting regular updates through the project management planner or project management software that you're using. So now I'll tell you about Dawn. With her project manager had weekly updates from the implementation team, and then had a meeting with Dawn to discuss any issues or challenges and updates on the progress of the project. And that project update template is there for you to download too from the swag bag. So moving on to the final 2 steps. How are we doing for time? Okay, all good, I think. So the next step is step 5, called knowing and growing. So you will learn from every project. You'll learn about the people involved, the systems used, the ability to predict timescales and outcomes against actual data, and you'll learn more about your audience through the actions they take and the data that you glean from that. In any project, it's really important to take on that learning, and we do that in an end of project review process called a win, learn, change. So a win, learn, change is simply asking the entire project team what they felt the wins were and the learns they gained from the project, and what they would change if they were going to be doing it again. And so much juicy, valuable stuff comes from these reviews and makes your investment in the project so much more valuable as the business scales. You know, as busy entrepreneurs and business owners, there's always the next thing shouting for your attention. But taking time to take stock in this way really does pay dividends in learning and team building for future projects. So one key learning that came out from Dawn's Win, Learn, Change was a breath of fresh air for her when she realised that she didn't have to keep creating new things, but she could channel her creativity in other ways. She had a lot of great stuff already in place, but she needed to really funnel the web traffic into a system that produced leads and sales for her. Her knowledge and her team's knowledge, as you can imagine, grew massively around systemization and automation as well. And it also helped her get better at predicting her future results, because she knew now her stats like leads to sales conversion ratios, and the project produced a nice 5-figure income for her. And there's a Win, Learn, Change template download within the How to Profit from Projects for you in the swag bag. So on to the final step, which is toasting the triumphs. So my clients are high achievers, and they've been inclined to leap from one project to the next without taking a breath. But over all my years at working on projects with entrepreneurs, I know firsthand that when you forget to pause to celebrate the success, it can have a negative effect on you and the team, and you miss out on a great opportunity to reinforce the culture of success in your hardworking team. You know, results are just feedback, right? So there will always be things to celebrate. Even if things didn't go to plan, you'll have a lot of very rich learning. And the impact of acknowledging your team for their contribution, their part in the project, creates a really good feeling. It will build morale, it increases motivation and loyalty, and it helps your team increase confidence for the next project. So in acknowledging their efforts, you get to show leadership, and it's a great culture reinforcement too. So showing the team and those around you in the industry how you like to do business. But based on my belief that experience and happiness is a source of success, and a happy team will then move into the next project hungry for more success. They'll grow in confidence and become keen learners. And when that happens, your business will also likely to attract people who want to partner with you or even become part of your high performing team. So you attract the right talent. In How to Profit with Projects in your digital swag bag, again, there's a list of ideas of ways that you can celebrate your project at the end with your team. Okay, right. So that's the 6 steps to scale your business with profitable projects. And I hope that Dawn's story has given you a little context and insight into how those steps can work for you in your business. Now, obviously, not every business is the same, and every business that we work with will have a unique set of circumstances and will customize the steps for them. So here's my invitation to you. If you think you and your business could benefit from using projects to scale, please make sure you use the resources I've added to the How to Profit with Projects in the digital swag bag. And in there, it will show you how to arrange a call with me if you wanted to have a chat about how you can make projects work for you in your business so you can scale. You came along to this session today because you wanted to grow your business. So please take some action. Otherwise, it's just information and nothing else has changed. Perhaps use the 6 steps I've shared with you today here to create a mini project out of all the information, great information that you've collated from the summit. You know, you could run it through the project viability checker to see what parts are best and good to move forward with now and what's worth keeping for some time in the future. I tried to make the session really practical for you so that you've got something you can work with and benefit from immediately. And all those templates and checklists are there for you to download. I just want to check in on how we're doing for time and to see if we've got any questions come through. But if not, I think that's almost my time up anyway. So please do check out the goodies that we've had in the exhibition, that are in the exhibition guide. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Just been told that I'm having some checking for questions for me. So just wait for a second to check on any questions. Oh, one question. Okay, so far. Just coming through. Joe, that's really inspiring. Thank you very much. I'm grateful for that. What is it that motivates me to do what I do? Wow, what a lovely question. So my mission is happiness, and simply I've worked with so many teams. I kind of sort of alluded to it a bit at the start when I introduced myself. I've worked with so many teams now and businesses, the passionate business owner, and it's awesome. You get so engaged and enrolled in it and put everything into working with them. And then things as they scale can start to falter a little bit. You know, the simple things really, like, for example, the celebrating, so toasting the triumphs, you know, you can move on so quickly, and I can see that motivation in the teams can slip. And so my passion really is, I've seen through projects how people can still be happy teams, and they do really create happy clients and happy businesses, and the success, their foundation for success. So that's really what drives me: happy teams and happy people. Question number 2, what bit of advice would I give myself 10 years ago? Oh my gosh, that would have been start with projects, work with projects, implement projects. Like, yeah, take your strategic plan and break it down into manageable projects so that you can, it just creates so much clarity for people. Yourself as the business owner and your team members, they know what they've got to do, they know what the plan is, they know what the goals are. It's so much easier, and the steps, and they get so much more fulfillment from knowing how they're contributing. So yeah, my advice would definitely be, what advice would you give yourself 10 years ago? Start with projects sooner. Absolutely. Thank you. I love those questions. They're awesome. So I think, yeah, that's my time up. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And yeah, it was great to connect with you. I look forward to connecting with you again. Bye.